Okay. Yeah. All right. So when I was little, I hated to go to sleep. And my mom would say, "Greg, it's time to go to sleep," and I would say, "I don't want to, Mom." And I just want to stay up in bed, and I would want to read or like play a game or something, or just watch TV, or just look at the ceiling and dream and stuff like that. But dream with my eyes open, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older, and middle school, yeah, and high school, I was getting sadder, and I was having a harder time going to sleep. And eventually, I just wasn't really sleeping at all, and kind of my whole life sounded like this, and I was upset all the time, and just really wasn't sleeping much at all. And then I went to college over in Amherst, Massachusetts, and that was great, except there was this one semester where I really wasn't sleeping. I said, wow, I should just take a bunch of classes instead of sleeping. And I took 8 classes that semester, and I slept 2 hours a night. But it let me graduate early, so that was nice. But so I really wasn't sleeping, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I went to the doctor, and I tried all these different things. And I saw a therapist, and nobody knew what to do. But then I met this girl. Because I see cameras and stuff with respect to this person, I need somebody to choose a name for the girl. It has to be a cute name.
Tabitha.
Tabitha.
I'm
Okay.
Tabitha.
Alright. So then I met Tabitha. And Tabitha was great, and I loved her very much. And we had a super nice relationship for a long time. And that was like the first time in my life where I had a really easy time sleeping. And it was wonderful. And I was having a really good time being with Tabitha, and I thought, wow, I sleep all the time now, or I sleep when I want to, because I feel so happy and like okay about myself, and well, this is great. And things started getting pretty damn serious, and one day, as I was getting closer to graduating and moving on with my life, I started to think, wow, I think I could see myself really spending a lot of time with this person, and I think I might be interested in marrying this person. And so this is November of 2012, so I went home that winter break, and I went to the jewelry store, and I started looking at engagement rings, and man, it was the cutest thing in the world. And this was also the same time that she said, yeah, like, I was thinking that this New Year's, why don't you fly on down to where I live and you can meet my family? And I said, wow, that sounds great, and it would be a good time for me to talk to your dad, because I guess that's a weird chivalry thing you're supposed to do in some circles. And so the thing you need to know about Tabitha is that she came from this is way too ominous for what I'm about to say. I'll just keep doing the thing that I was doing. Tabitha's family were all native Mexicans, which is great and fine, but as I would soon learn, both of her sisters were dating Mexican people, and her parents weren't too happy that I wasn't Mexican. Okay, so one day after Christmas, I got in the car with my dad, and we drove into the airport, and I got in the plane, he didn't, and I went up. And we flew all the way to South Carolina, and then we approached the airport, and the plane went down. I got off the plane, and there's Tabitha waiting for me, and I thought, wow, Tabitha's great. I love her so much. I'm gonna sleep tonight. And we got in the car, which her mother was driving, and her mother didn't get out of the car to meet me, which I thought was kind of rude. But I thought, I'll roll with the punches on this one, yo. And I got in the car, and I stuck my hand very handsome. I thought, wow, that was so rude, and I feel very unwelcome. Bless you. But you know, like, it'll be okay. Just gotta impress them with something. But then she started driving. And remember when I said I'm afraid of drivers sometimes? She was a really dangerous driver, and she was like, and she was just taking these corners, and I was going, oh my God, I'm gonna die. This is good. Right? And Tabitha says to her mom, she says, hey Greg, you know, Greg's been in like some really nasty accidents, and drivers make him really nervous. And then her mom starts like swerving the car, and she's going, oh, like this, Greg, is that making you scared? And I said, yes. I said, yeah, please stop. But she didn't. So there I was, clutching onto the holdy thing for your suits. But we got to the house, and then I met her dad, and her dad says, hey Greg, nice to meet you. I said, oh, nice to meet you. I'm glad that you don't suck. And he said, would you like a drink? And I said, oh, no thanks, I don't drink, but I appreciate that. And then he said, no, really, I'll give you a drink. And I said, oh, no, I'm really, really okay. I definitely don't want to drink, because I don't drink. And he said, no, I'll get you a drink. It's okay. I said, no, man, I don't want to drink. And he said, no, man, I'll get you a drink. It's okay. Whatever you want. I said, no, please, I don't want to drink. And eventually Tabitha came over and she said, hey, Dad, like, please, like, it's okay. So he got me a glass of water, and that was fun, but I was feeling so unwelcome and scared. And then that night we're at dinner, right? And her dad he's a traveler by trade. Well, he works for a company that has him travel. I guess and he's telling me about kind of like some weird food adventures he's been on, and I thought, oh wow, these stories are kind of interesting and nice. And then he said, hey, like, have you ever like had lots of weird exotic food before? And I said, nope. I didn't want to lie to him. I was just trying to be honest. I thought that's the end of the conversation. That night, yeah, me and Tabitha were hanging out. This is the first time that somebody's given me a name for this story, and I've stuck to it the whole time. Really happy about it. And everybody else is asleep, and Tabitha says, I'm really unhappy with the way you talked to my dad today. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, when he asked you about food, and you just gave him that rude answer, it's like you aren't even trying to fit in with my family. And I thought, are you joking? I legitimately thought that this was a joke, but it was real, and we got into a big fight about it. And then, okay, next day. I think, okay, we had a fight last night, but like, in-laws are tough. And then Tabitha said, oh, like, I'll show you around my town. This is in South Carolina. Did I already say that? Yeah. And we were going by this lake, and I saw a bunch of ducks, and I fucking love ducks. And, yeah, true that, baby. And I said, oh, Tabitha, can we get out and play with the ducks? And she said, no, I don't want to fucking play with the ducks, Greg. I thought, okay, fine. And then she said, I think we should just go back to the house. So we went back to the house. Oh, this is New Year's Eve, by the way. We went back to the house, and she pulls me into this room, and she said, you're not trying hard enough with my family. When you talked to my dad last night, that was totally whack. And I thought, I can't believe we're having a fight about this. Sorry that I didn't have exotic food at some point in my life. And then she said, I think we should break up. together, and I had to go up to her family and say, hey, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for having me for a day. I guess I'm leaving now. And then her mom drove me to the airport. No, it's not the airport. I always say the airport when I tell the story. She drove me to the hotel. Because, remember, well, I didn't say this, but I was planning on being there for a week. So I had bought a plane ticket for a week later, right? So I'm in a hotel. It's New Year's Eve. And remember when I said that I'm a vegan and I don't drink? Well, I thought like, you know, like, usually when other people, like, something bad happens to them, they'll like, yeah, I'm gonna get some brews or something, I'm gonna get fucking crazy. But I thought, wow, like, I'm not ready to drink yet in my life. So, I thought, maybe it's just time to, like, eat a pizza. Because I hadn't had pizza in years. And so I walked across the street from the hotel, and I went to a Pizza Hut, and I bought a pizza, and then I brought it back, and I got in the shower, and I just laid on the floor, crying, eating pizza, and as if that wasn't bad enough, eventually there's a knock on the door of the hotel room, and it was the manager, and he said, sounds like you're going through something, but some of the guests are complaining that you're crying too loud. How many more time? Oh, I have like 10 minutes, is that okay? 5? Alright, so then I have the best parents in the world, and they bought me a plane ticket, so I went up, and then I went back down, and I was back home in New Hampshire, and I wrote a song, and I was going to play it, but whatever, it's by my band, it's going to come out later, it's fine, it's loud, it's upsetting, and it has lots of sad lyrics, but anyway, so then I spent that whole year, this is 2014, shit, what year is it now? Oh my god, I had my years totally off. Alright, so now we're in 2014, right? And I spent all of that year just feeling really, really down about myself, and I don't know how to communicate with people anymore, and will I ever love again? And it was just the worst year of my life, probably. And I really didn't know what to do. And then a couple weeks ago, I was on tour, and I played in Atlanta, and it was really scary and weird. Yeah. One day I'm driving. I noticed my car needed gas, right? Because you can't drive without gas. So I got off at the next exit, and I put gas in my car. And then I said, I'm hungry. I need gas for me. Yeah, alright. And so I drove a little bit of the ways up the street, and I saw a Subway, and I said, I can eat there. And I got out of the car, and I went into the Subway, and I bought a sub, and I was sitting there eating my sub, and I was looking out the window of the Subway. Yeah. And I started thinking, wow, that building across the street looks very familiar to me. I wonder what it is. And after a little bit, I realized, oh wow, that's the hotel that I was in. I'm in that town. Isn't that fucked up? and maybe a smart person would say, wow, I'm gonna leave, so I don't have to think about this. But I said, I'm gonna drive around. And you know, yeah, that's right. I did. I got in the car and I drove around. And you know what I did? I went to that fucking lake. And I bought some crackers, and I bit those fucking nuts. That's right. Yeah, I bit those nuts. And then you know what I did? Oh, I forgot to tell you about the thing that happened in the coffee shop. But I went to the coffee shop and I bought myself a cup of coffee. And it was fucking great. I loved it. And then I got in my car and I drove to my next shows in North Carolina. And since then, so this was about a week and a half ago now. And I tell you, the past week and a half, I've never been happier in my life. I've been sleeping, and things are just fucking great because I think that I like saw this situation and I said, wow, I was here a year ago, but now I'm in control of my whereabouts. And I don't need anybody. Well, that's not true. I love my friends. I know so many people here. I'm really happy. But I don't need Tabitha. Fuck Tabitha. And now I'm really happy. Everything's great. That's my story. Thanks.